Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to the Beach Safety Ocean Rescue 2021 Interzone competition. We'll be getting started in just a few minutes, but we are here to introduce ourselves. I am Kate Sark.
And I'm Jack Driscoll, retired lifeguard representing Volusia County for several years, and we're here to show you an exciting time tonight here on the world's most famous beach.
Yeah, we're really excited. Like I said, we'll be getting going in just a few minutes. But as we begin and kind of wait for the competitors to all arrive and get a rundown of the rules and everything that's going to happen, we'll give you a quick rundown here. So, Jack, can you tell us the 5 events that we'll be seeing tonight?
Sure. Tonight's Interzone competition features 4 districts along Volusia County beaches that lifeguards work out of: Ormond Beach, Daytona, the Dunlawton Zone, which includes Ponce Inlet and portions of Daytona Beach shores, and then, of course, New Smyrna. We'll be starting with the swim relay, which will include about 6 representatives from each district. Then we'll go on to the paddle relay, which features rescue paddle boards. Then our third event is going to be up on the beach. It'll be exciting and fast 4x100 run relays with buoy in hand. That'll be featuring both women's and men's teams. Then our fourth event will be the Medley Relay. It spotlights 4 different talents. And then we'll move right on into the beach flags, which is the final event, and it also features 3 women and 3 men from each district.
So we'll be back in just a few minutes to get the competition going. Hello and welcome to the Volusia County Beach Safety Ocean Rescue 2021 Interzone competition. I am Kate Sark with Volusia County, and I'm here with Jack Driscoll.
Hey, good to see you folks tonight. Glad you could tune in tonight. We're featuring 4 districts: Ormond, Daytona, Dunlawton, and New Smyrna. We've already started the first event. They just got underway. We have 6 swimmers from each district that just entered the water on the south end of the course. We'll be joining them this year. Thanks for community information, Volusia County. We got drones flying. We're going to show you an exciting time tonight.
Yeah, we got a lot going on, but before we get into it, let's throw it down to Tammy Malfers, Captain Tammy Malfers with Beach Safety, to give us a little bit of an idea of what's going on and to introduce a special guest.
Hi, Kate. Thank you. I have here today our chief, Andrew Etheridge, and I'm going to ask him a little bit about what he expects from this fierce competition today.
Well, tonight we're looking at some fast and furious competition. You know, we're always chasing daylight with this event, and tonight's no exception. As you can see, we've already got the swimmers in the water. They're making their way around the first buoys, and they should be coming in at the finish line pretty soon.
Chief Etheridge.
At the right time, and hopefully you come out on top. But the medley is where it shows all of the lifeguarding disciplines put together, and a winning team will come out of that.
Absolutely. The medley is a fun event, and also a little bit about
Okay, they're out on the course, you all, and it's hard to identify each and every swimmer right now, but we do have them getting ready to round the first buoy. They'll take a left-hand turn and swim north about 400 yards before they return to shore to a checkered flag. Should be close. As they finish, Kate, it'll be scored in a fashion such as a cross-country meet. High score is the loser. So if you get 2 or 3 swimmers in the top 10, you're in real good shape.
So how many swimmers do we have from each zone competing in this?
Well, there should have been 6 representing each district. Hopefully everybody got 6 heads in the water. It's kind of a game they play depending on the talent that they have. They can also get some of the top swimmers and not show their whole hand and put them in the medley relay later on this evening. But there's boys and girls competing. Really, when you get to this level in ocean rescue, just depending on what type of
team does.
Sure. Well, swimming, of course, is a prerequisite, and being an expert waterman is also important. But paddling comes in handy, but swimming is the basic talent that you're going to need. You're going to have to
Of that buoy to be qualified.
Right. Everybody's got to go around it, or they they could get disqualified. We got some star swimmers out there. Declan Outlaws from the Spruce Creek swim team. He just graduated. We got a rower, Connor Cassidy from UCF. We got all kinds of talent up and down through all different districts. So like I said, in draft day during the recruit classes, they're picking and choosing their talent, and a lot of it depends on how fast they are is where they're going to be seated in these competitions.
And we talk about talent, we talk about all over the place, we talk about males and females. We also have a lot of different age groups represented here, don't we?
Oh, sure. One of our top swimmers, and we'll see if he comes out in the top 2 or 3, usually he does, is Dave Kerrig. And Dave Kerrig is almost 50 years old. He was 30 years in the Coast Guard. He was a chief in command at his latest assignment was Ponce Inlet. He's also a teacher at Seabreeze as a second career, but he's worked for us for about 4 years now. And then we have 16-year-olds, so it just depends.
I think that's a great way to highlight all of the different people who work for this wonderful team in this division. And we have people, like you said, from teachers to high school students that are all part of this.
Oh, sure. Nurses, firefighters, teachers. We have the whole gamut of people that still work to us part two.
And it looks like we're getting ready to come in for the finish. Tammy, how's it looking down there? Are we getting ready to see who's going to come in first here?
And the adrenaline amongst all the competitors down here, and they are starting to come in, and that's when it gets really exciting, especially right here in close to shore where they can catch a wave. You know, someone could be in 3rd or 4th place, catch a wave, and come in first, so it gets really exciting here in just a minute.
Tammy, what about those hole hazards when they're coming out into that shallow water? We've seen injuries there.
Yeah, you got to be careful. There's holes. There's holes in that surf there. Running in and out. You got to be very careful. You may see some competitors fall in those holes, and so you got to be careful about that. And they're coming in now.
And then Tammy, once you hit the sand, you still have to run a little bit, right? So
yeah,
that makes a difference as well.
Yeah, you're completely exhausted from swimming, but you still have to make that little jot in between those checkered flags, and that's where it gets really interesting. They come in really fast, one right after another, and they're coming in now.
Well, we can hear the crowd's cheering from up here.
Yeah.
And here's the finish.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try. Right here. Right here.
That was close for first
Over
place.
first. We got first. Go line up. I think we got the first place here. We're gonna try to talk to him in a minute. Go line up as you come in.
Let them catch their breath a little bit
Yeah, I
before
told
we
you
put a microphone
it
in their
could.
mouth.
They come in so fast.
The first female was looking like she was in 4th place. I saw one gal already cross the finish line. There is a rip current that tends to pull right there, so they're struggling on that last leg.
We got the first place swimmer here, Kate and Jack. How was that? How did you feel?
It was tiring.
You pushed yourself to the limit, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who was it, Tammy?
Yeah. Introduce yourself.
Ethan Doster,
From
new swimmer, District 4, new
William
swimmer, Beach
Doster,
High School.
yeah. He's super fast. He was super fast in his recruit class.
Good way to make it to those checkered flags. I know that's exhausting.
Oh yeah, I'm not a runner, so gets me.
You're definitely a swimmer.
Yeah, every day.
Great job.
Thank you.
So, Kate, typically in a regional and national level, our team is assigned bathing caps, or beanies is what they call them. And our team color has been red for years. In this particular case, we don't outfit them. We just identify them with their district number with a magic marker on their arm.
So it's a little bit tougher to tell when they're in the water who we're looking at.
Sure, you can tell. You could tell. Every country in the world is assigned a beanie color as well as each regional team. So yeah, it's a lot easier.
Can you tell Daryl that they say when they go to the drone they can't hear any audio? The Facebook people.
That was Gavin Ziegler just came in, representing District 3. Been with us about 5 years.
Only when they go to the drone. The Facebook.
Now we also have law enforcement officers participating in this. We have full-time, part-time, and then and full-time law enforcement officers. They're all triple trained. The law enforcement guys are, and they're required to swim their requirements twice a year. And there is a couple in this event. I know one of them out of Dunlawton, Dominic Palmer, is in that crowd somewhere. I didn't see him, but I know for sure he's in it.
Yeah, we talk about our beach safety team, and I don't think everyone realizes the different levels of expertise and skill we have. We go from just our tower guards, who even we say just, but they do an amazing job of making sure people are safe each and every day. And then moving up the ranks to our beach safety specialists, and we have people who are EMTs, and then we have our law enforcement officers. So really so many different options and career options with beach safety.
Yeah, correct. There's a lot of perception that the law enforcement guys are just cops, and they're not. All of them start out as lifeguards. We don't just hire a cop to be a cop, and they have to pass their 500-meter swim under 10 minutes twice a year, as opposed to the part-timers once a year. So we rely on them even in the wintertime. They have to swim their requirements.
Well, and I've seen Captain Tammy Malfers dive into the ocean more than once when she needs to make a save. So I know that even when we have those law enforcement officers out there, they're ready to go if they need to.
Oh yeah, she's in good shape. She's a member of our national team several times, and also, well, she'll probably be participating in regionals in Sarasota here in a couple of weeks. But yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's not only a job, but it becomes a lifestyle with these guys, and they work out with the kids every day.
So it looks like we're wrapping up this first competition, which has been very thrilling and exciting. Jack, can you tell us, we're going to go on to number 2 very quickly. What's our second competition?
Sure, we got to move fast into the paddleboard relay. It's going to be 4 equally prepared paddleboards. They're the typical paddleboards. They're sponge, soft deck type boards that for safety purposes, that's what's mounted on our lifeguard rescue trucks. So as opposed to the national and the regional level and the world level, where those boards are high-tech composite boards, thousands of dollars, these boards are equally prepared, so nobody really has an advantage. And they'll get their 4 top paddlers, and 2 of them will be on the south end of the course, 2 of them will be on the north end of the course, and sort of be like a tag team relay. First paddler will leave. He'll paddle out on the diamond-shaped triangle course, the 3 orange buoys, and he'll give off to the second board handler. The board handler stabilizes the board and waits for the second paddler to come into the surf, and then he continues to the south, and we reverse course. Third paddler repeats the first paddler's course down, and then the final leg of the relay to the fourth, and then he'll finish on the other end of the course. It's real exciting. It takes a little bit longer because they're doing about 600 meters, and so we'll have time to chit-chat about what those talents are used for when they're actually on the job.
So unlike the first competition where we had everyone swimming at the same time, this will be a relay. So we'll have one person from each zone in the water at a time, and they'll tag off. So we'll get to see each individual person from each team kind of make their pass and work together one at a time to complete this event.
Correct, and there's strategy in it. Do you put your fastest first to get the advantage so it's harder to catch up, or do you leave him to the last? And then maybe if you fell behind, you wasted that talent, and then looking ahead to the Medley Relay, our 4th event of the day, you may have wanted to use him there. So, and then if a big wave crashes and you didn't set up on it correctly and you've lost your board, you cannot advance until you remount your board. I mean, there's a lot of technical things. Today's chop is going to really require a surfer, and a lot of our staff, of course, are surfers, but they're a little bit better in this chop and these waves than, say, a flat lake type paddler. There's
a lot that goes into this. It looks like the competitors are getting briefed on one last chance on all the rules and regulations. Tammy, you want to tell us, bring us down there? We can see a little bit about what's going on and watch maybe the start of this race?
Yeah, Kate, absolutely. This is the start of the paddle race, and like Jack said, this is you got to get on that board right, and this is another event. You can be in last place coming around that corner, and you catch one of those waves, you can come right into first place easily. So that's really important to be able to ride those waves, and that's one of the main things about these boards. And most of these paddlers are surfers. Paddling is probably my favorite event. So this is an exciting event for all of us in the relay, and they're getting briefed right now, so they'll be starting here in just a few seconds.
Fantastic. Tammy, you want to give a quick shout out? Who's giving all the instructions out there? That
Okay, that is Captain Miller. He's given all the instructions. He's running the course today, all the events. He is a national competition winner. He holds several national titles, and in everything, he pretty much is a super athlete, and no one can ever beat him.
Yeah, AJ Miller is our top athlete right now, and he's an older guy. I mean, as far as when you compare to the 16 and 17, 18-year-olds, he's dedicated his career to getting better and better. And he was top point man at last year's regionals, and I think the year before as well. So he does Ironman, he does paddle, he does several events throughout the day. They get on the dory boat and row. There's a lot more events on the upper levels that don't get included in today's event. And AJ has really set an example for some of these young kids.
Well, how lucky are we to have him here and to have him run this competition and to be able to be a role model along with so many of our other team members here. Just a really great place to be with Volusia County Beach Safety.
We have a little bit of a minute delay here, so we'll be starting shortly.
So those boards, you'll notice when we had the camera on them, you saw that they had handles on them. And those are typically for rescues. So when your victims, or for instance, a multi-victim rescue, you've got people that don't normally or have never been on a surfboard, but they've been in trouble out in the rip current. You give them a little something to grab onto so you can load them up. Usually that board is used as a backup tool at our beach. All of our trucks are equally equipped and all of them have rescue boards on them. So as backup, the people operating the trucks are generally the ones that respond to a multi-victim rescue. If the guard is further distance from shore, it's sort of an intermediate distance rescue tool. Of course, if the rescue was a little bit further than that, of course, we would deploy a rescue ski or one of our Boston Whaler out of Ponce Inlet.
So lots of different resources here we have. So looks like we're getting ready to get started.
We're almost ready to start this paddle race here.
And it looks like our competitors are ready and eager to go. So do we have these two sets? Are these the competitors 1 and 3? Is that right, Jack? And so we'll go around and have competitor 2 and then come back over to our second set over here?
Yes, 1 and 3 is going to be staged at the checkered flags, and 2 and 4 are going to be the south end of the course where the swim started. And the reason they're starting here is so they can end here at the checkered flag, so we don't have to move the spectators around a whole lot either.
We won't make Tammy and our camera guy Dave run quite as far.
I know that is a far run, Kate. Do you see that?
You didn't think you'd be competing tonight, but we still have you working out down there.
I know.
We got some good talent up there out of Ormond. Of course, they've been bragging all week. They won 2019. Of course, last year because of COVID, we didn't get to have it. But we got some deep talent all the way around. We'll see who the surfers are out there, who's going to handle these waves. That's going to make the difference.
All right. We got about 5 seconds.
And we've got our start.
They're off. One of our teams is featuring Jack's beach transfer. He just started our law enforcement college, Gordy Van Duzen. He's going to be paddling for Ormond. Max Gallant, which is our beach safety specialist of the year last year for sensational rescue and resuscitation. He's also going to be with Ormond. Baker Pentiaro is one of 3 siblings employed by us. 2 sisters also work for us. He'll be paddling for Daytona, as well as James Elmore, and then Jesse Dyer, sergeant here in Daytona, is also in it.
And we talk a little bit about these zones. So beach safety is one big team.
Oh,
but
yeah.
then we have our 4 different zones that we kind of highlighted, and most of the time these individuals will work within their zone, correct?
Correct, especially in the summertime when we're fully staffed and we really have to spread people out. Come wintertime, we will be diminishing our staff a little bit just because of weather and crowd. But yeah, they're all one big team. And in 2 days after this is done, the bragging rights have gone away, and everybody's going to be at the ball game together, and they've forgotten all about it. They'll exchange T-shirts. A lot of them have their team T-shirts on tonight. But come the 20th of July, when the seam's over in Sarasota, you got people from all 4 districts that have forgotten all about Interzone.
Oh, is he doing that now?
Huh?
Do we have our drone up there to go to the boards maybe?
It does look like we are getting some of the board shot from our drone. Are we already on our second group of competitors out here making their way out, or
this
they're
is the first leg. This is the first
Okay.
leg, and it's a long leg, like I spoke of before. And you'll see some of them they're moving back and forth from the prone position to knee paddling. And knee paddling is faster and less tiresome, but it's different muscle groups depending on paddling and on your knees, and then paddling on prone position on your stomach. They give their back a little bit of a break when they get prone, and then they get back up. However, with the chop and the current and the waves, they have to be really careful not to get dumped off that board.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different strategies, like you talked about, from even who you put in first to how you are on the board and the muscles you employ and the way you paddle. So much that goes into this.
Yep, you see a lot of them when they got to the first buoy to make that right-hand turn to head to the south, they get back on their belly because it's easier to navigate, and when they change from an easterly heading to a southerly heading, they want that chop to make them teeter and fall off. So they'll jump down to the prone position, give their back a little bit of a rest, navigate a tight curve around that buoy, and then a lot of them will jump back up.
And here's a great shot right now where we can see 2 of the different approaches.
You got a couple of techniques going on. You got a drafting like they're on the NASCAR backstretch out of Daytona as well. He's probably talking to him as well, getting a little draft, and that guy in second place is kind of a break and a chop, and that win for the third place guy. Now he jumps up onto the knees. They're going to try and take advantage of the wave swell too.
So we talked a little bit about when these are used. So we use our paddle boards, you said, for kind of those middle distance rescues. So we'll see a little bit later where our team will use buoys for rescue, but this is another measure we employ.
Right. Buoys are the utmost, most important piece of equipment they can have. However, when it comes to a multi-victim rescue, long distance, the guards out there are going to need a little assistance. Or if they're called into the river or a nighttime rescue where they're going to need a little bit more protection, going into the unknown, then of course they're going to deploy the longboard.
Well, and you bring up a great point there. Our team does do some river rescues as well. We're not just in ocean rescue, are we?
Oh, sure. We get called out to Mosquito Lagoon for disorientated boaters and lost boaters. We get called down to the National Seashore, even though they have lifeguards. You know, they call us down if there's a tragedy of some sort and they need some backup. Of course, we even have a couple of members of our staff on the sheriff's dive team. So they're ready at any time, 24 hours a day, to get their tanks on, for whether it's recovering stolen cars or missing persons. We're going to respond anywhere in the county.
Well, and I know several months ago we're focusing on all of this great drone footage, but we use our drones for our safety as well. And we had a person that was disoriented in the river, and I believe that we helped to use our drone to help locate that boat, that kayaker, right?
Yes, huge saving time. Tammy, take it away. You got him on the final turn, first leg. You'll love this guy.
Hold it real close to his mouth. It sounds like we might have lost some sound with Tammy, so we'll give us just a minute. You know, technical difficulties, they happen out here, the wind and the waves and the salt water. So we'll come back to Tammy in just a minute.
That's Scooter of the Beach. He's on a beach patrol tour. He's out of Sarasota County now. He used to work for us back in the 80s and 90s. He transferred over to Sarasota County, and he's been on a beach tour all the way up into the Panhandle, the Deadston and Pensacola and Panama City Beach. He's been up into all the way up to Fernandina Beach, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. He did Flagler yesterday, and he's here to see us today.
Wow, so he's traveling all over the state, kind of getting a peek at how everyone does what they do.
Yeah, and it's educational too. He wants to bring notice to beach safety, and it's a recruitment issue too. You know, he wants to show the state. He wants to spotlight the state's beaches, and he wants to show that there's career opportunities down here in both the East Coast and the West Coast.
There definitely are career opportunities, and this is such a wonderful place to be. We always say if you have to have an office, why not have an office with a view, right?
You bet. I did 38 years here, and my parents kind of asked me when I was going to go find a real job, and that never happened. And, you know, it pans out, and it's a profession these days. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. We're about the northernmost beach patrol in the state of Florida that is full-time, and it's because of its immensity and the crowds that we get and the surf conditions. And kudos and hats off to George Rechtenwald and the staff over in DeLand that recognize the importance that we do staff professional people, and it's a great job. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Well, we're glad to have you here for all these years. We're sad to see you go, but you've earned your time to enjoy now.
Oh, I'm still snooping around to make sure that they're doing things right. But actually, I'm still part-time, and I try and give my hand. But there is lifeguard shortage nationwide, and it's just a job that is hard. It's difficult for these kids. They're taught discipline at a young age too, responsibility. You can't be late. They can't have phones, and it's tougher and tougher every year. It's not a money thing, really. I mean, money's always good, but to get these kids involved and stay involved, so we keep them through high school and through college, and then an opportunity for their career if that's the way they want to go, and then they're more than welcome.
Well, and I think today seeing all of these competitors is a true testament to what a great career this can be, whether it's a few years in high school as you kind of develop and grow and learn those really important lessons before your next step in life, or you choose to make it a career, or it's your second career after you've done what you want to do, and maybe you explore this as an option later in life. It's all great opportunities.
Right. And I'll tell you, the junior lifeguard program has really spurned some talent. We've really gotten some. We have 6 sessions this year again, and they're sold out. We're at capacity, and the younger groups that are coming up is really exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
It certainly is, and I think it's also the important safety lessons that these junior lifeguards learn, like how to spot a rip current and what to do if you get caught in one, and those things that are so important if you live in our beachside area.
Sure. We're teaching them first aid, CPR, the dangers of jellyfish and lightning and things like that, and I'll tell you, it really seems to get them enthused. We've got some swimmers that participated in our Memorial Day 500-meter swim in the ocean. A 14-year-old girl over in Hydra 4 program. She's a junior lifeguard. She beat everybody.
Wow.
Every one of us. Oh, okay, great.
Sounds like we're gonna go back down to Tammy. She's got Scooter. We got the mic fixed. We're ready to get an update.
We're going to talk to Scooter here. He's been a lifesaver for many, many years, has a wealth of knowledge about lifesaving, used to work for our agency years ago. We want to get a little bit of, see what he has to say.
Well, I got a lot of input here because I know people from all different zones. Big contingency. Ormond was hot. They won it 2 years ago. Didn't happen last year because you know why. They won it again this year because, you know, the monsters are Daytona and New Smyrna. Man, it's a fierce competition. It's been this way since probably the 70s, way before I even started. It's a tradition that's going to roll on forever.
Thanks, Scooter. We really appreciate you being here and, you know, sharing all that with us. Thank you.
I am honored. I love this place.
Scooter was a member of our national team for a couple of years, and we had some deep talent back then. We even have one of the guards in his era that's he's been a guard at Lake Tahoe since then. Since the time Scooter went to Sarasota, one of our other guards has been in Tahoe. One of our competitors here, Clayton DeBrule's uncle, Matthew, is out in Honolulu, as well as J.R. Sloan. They've been guards out there for about 30 years as well. They all started here. And if you have your Volusia County Beach Patrol lifeguard training as your resume, you're hired wherever you go.
Wow, well, that's a great thing to have on your resume, and to have that confidence and the knowledge that comes with it.
It means a lot. What leg are we on now, Tammy? How are we looking?
We're looking at these second paddle boarders coming up to that last buoy, and we're gonna see who gets the wave. We're gonna see who gets that wave, Jack and Kate.
That's a big wave that looks like Baker Pitaro on the camera right now. They'll stall just to get the advantage of the wave. They'll stall in the slough, and he's got it. Let's see if he can hang on.
Oh, he's got it. That's what he needed. That's what we always try to find, that wave that brings you in.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That stretches the lead to unsurpassable from time to time. Unless something tragic happens and he loses his board or his tag man loses the board on the transition, that's kind of hard unless the next guy catches an even bigger wave. And here we go. He sized himself up 1-2.
All right, we're going to try to get him his attention when he comes in.
And I love to watch his handoff. You can see how they hand the boards off
Right.
to their handler and get it set up for the next person, which is also so important, right? To be
Right.
ready to go for your next team member to run into the water.
Right, that handler is sizing up. He's got to line up at the starting line, and then he's got to know from his competitors which side they want it on. They're real particular about which side they mount that board on.
So Tammy, do you have someone down there?
I have him down here. This is the first paddler that came in on the second leg, and we're going to talk to him. He's, you know, of course they're out of breath when they come in, so we try to give him a few seconds. But introduce yourself.
I'm Kai Marsh. I'm from District 4.
District 4, New Smyrna. So
Kai
there's another
Marsh.
New Smyrna
Sure,
guard
Kai
coming
Marsh from
in
New
here.
Smyrna,
Yeah,
talent.
tell us a little bit about how you train for this paddle.
Well, we have these reef buoys a mile out, and a couple weeks before I started every day after work, just paddling out to the reef buoys, mile out, mile back.
So just a couple weeks on.
Well, I'm also a surfer, so it's kind of been like my whole life. Yeah.
There you go. We got talent here. He
These
trained
kids,
he
these
trained
kids
for a
have
couple
surf
weeks.
wax on their
Thank
brain.
you.
They've been doing it a
Yeah.
long time, and you can see that New Smyrna team is a powerhouse when it comes to the paddle.
We do have news about the swim. The first event, it looks like Ormond took that event. They won that event.
Ormond Beach, so that means they're in the lead with 10 points. Who got
Yes.
second?
I believe it was Daytona.
Okay,
Yeah.
Daytona 10-8 right now. So,
Well, we'll try to keep you updated on those results.
okay.
And this is quite competitive, right? These zones really get into it on who's going to win and all of the training and maybe a little bit of talk leading up to the event.
It
yeah.
gets tense.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kate, I train for a lot of things. I train for triathlons and 5Ks and stuff, but nothing compares to lifeguard training and competitions. It's above and beyond.
And it's exciting to see some of the new faces out there. You know, there's talent from top to bottom, like you're mentioning. Andy used to compete too, can still swim like a fish, and and AJ, of course, and you. I don't see you in a swimsuit tonight either, but it gives opportunity to the newer kids, the younger kids, and it grows enthusiasm. And then the older folks, they get to brag. And I'll tell you what, the bragging and the silent treatments and the holding cards close to the vest is it can be found that higher you go, the more tense it gets.
Well, and what a great opportunity for some of these younger guards to be able to compete with some of these competitors who have done this for years and years and are known for this. We talk about our Andys and our Tammys and those competitors, and to get to be right alongside them has to be a very exciting thing.
Sure. When the bug bites them and they get a little taste of it, then the adrenaline really carries on, and a lot of the talent shows up before work. Of course, they have to swim drill every day at their district assigned at 9:15. Every guard has to swim. Every full-time guard has to swim. Every full-time Leo has to do drill every day. And when you start seeing them at daybreak, say with one of AJ's training teams or whatever, and they're trying new pieces of equipment, they'll be on the dory boat or a new paddle board, and surf ski, one of the Australian surf skis, you see, okay, these kids are going to be the new ones. They're going to fill the void as we age into all our different age groups.
So when you talk about, that's a great segue into, we again talk about how all of this really relates to the job of what our team does. And learning those new equipments and practicing techniques are not only fun, but it's very beneficial for the job that we look to these people to do.
Oh, right. When they become experts and watermen, you start getting more confidence in them, and you give them harder assignments as well. Say, for instance, they're good with the surf and they're good with paddle boards, or we upgrade them after their first summer and we get them trained on the ATVs or the jet skis. Then we're putting them in some of our more difficult assignments, say, for instance, the Ponce Inlet Tower or they're sitting the jetty at New Smyrna, or they're by themselves way down at Bethune Beach Park, where our response time for backup may be a little bit slower. The more talent they have, the more experience they have with some of the equipment we offer, the more opportunities they have.
We're getting another really great drone shot of some of our competitors paddling, really battling those waves. We talk about how beneficial the waves can be on the way in, but on the way out, they're certainly a challenge, aren't they?
Oh yeah, you got to be ready, or you can lose your board. You get bopped in the chin if your head isn't positioned correctly, and if one of those waves closes out in your face before you've gotten a chance to get some momentum, you can lose your board. And they have to be careful, because it could cost them a place or two in this particular event. And you'll see he's going up on his knees, so he's feeling a little bit more confident now that he's out of the break zone and he's focused and he's lined up to his first turn. He'll probably go down to his belly, like I said the first leg did, to maneuver and make that hard right turn.
And we've definitely got some waves out there tonight, don't we? It's not making it easy.
This is the biggest we've seen in several years as far as the Interzone competition. It's windy, but we've had some offshore storms coming in from the southeast as well. But I can guarantee you the paddlers love it.
It adds a little bit of excitement.
Yeah, they're stretching out right now. Like I said, this one's pretty much takes up most time as far as the paddle goes, just because of the distance. And if you've found the advantage of catching a wave, you can stretch the distance between your competitors out pretty good.
I'm tired just watching them.
I think he's tired, and he knows where his competitor is, so he's taking a break, and he knows he's going to get the benefit of the waves ahead of the next guy. But look at him struggle around that buoy. He's taking a hard right turn, but now he's going to be able to rest even more. But up on his knees he goes. He takes a peek over his shoulder to catch that advantage of that swell, and he'll be, look, there he is. He can rest. He's resting in a slough until he can see a swell that's really going to carry him, and he'll make up for that lost time and that momentum he's lost right now if he gets the benefit of a big wave.
And there's definitely also some skill involved in judging your distance and your approach to a buoy and making sure you don't undercut anything, right? I mean, watching him, how closely he made that turn is not exerting more effort than you need to, but making sure you're going to make it.
Right. You don't want to run into a buoy. You don't want to cut it. You don't want to have a swell put your put the nose of your board under it or around it where the cable's attached to an anchor. But then you might lose your board, and then you are having a problem. He's tired. He's taking a break, but he's knowing over his shoulder that his competitor has to make up a lot of distance before he gets. There's a nice wave.
Here we go.
Talk to some more competitors down here.
Sounds
that are
like
getting ready.
Tammy's got a competitor she's going to bring to us before they jump into the water.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Okay, we have, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Morgan Walker.
Okay, Morgan, what are you doing here today?
I just did the swim.
She just did the swim. How was it?
It was really good. I mean, it was a little rough out there, but I felt really good, so.
Morgan's from New Smyrna zone, so how do you train for this? How did you train for this swim?
Well, ever since freshman year, I just graduated as a senior at Seminole High. I've been on the varsity swim and water polo team since freshman year, so that's kind of like my training. I mean, every day before and after work, we work out and everything, and we train, but that was my overall, that's how I swim, you know?
Just like most of our lifeguards down here on Volusia County Beach, we train every day before and after work, sometimes twice a day, a lot of times twice a day. So thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Back to you.
So Morgan Walker, she's out of Seminole County, and we recruit every school in our county. We visit as time allows, and personnel. We visit either for recruiting, vehicle day, or career day. And now we've even spread that recruiting as far as the wonders of tech to some of the schools over west of us in Seminole County, and Lake Mary's offered us quite a few. Pine, let's see, we got Deltona. A lot of the talent's coming over, and they commute every day. From DeLand High School as well, they commute every day, and a lot of them, like Morgan, has background in water polo and swimming. Go ahead, Tammy.
Hey, Jack and Kate, I have Captain Miller here. I know we've talked a lot about him today already and about what a great athlete he is and all the national competitions that he has won. So I wanted to just talk to him a little bit and ask him about his training and what he does on a daily basis.
Oh, well, thank you. Hello. Normally, in the heat of training season, it's usually swimming 3 days a week. We got a group of us that wake up at 5 a.m. Captain Malfreys usually comes with us as well. And then there's a group of us that'll transition to the beach. And we usually do Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll do paddleboard. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll do surf ski. And then on Saturdays, we usually do iron training, which encompasses swimming, paddling, running, and surf ski.
Okay, you hear that? So he may take Sunday off?
I do. I take Sunday off. I have a hot tub at home where I like to relax with my kids. I got to give my family 1 day of the week.
All right, yes. I see AJ out here all the time. He's been competing for years, and he's a great athlete. Like I said before, there's not very many people that can beat him across the state, the country. So we're proud that he works here in Volusia County. Thanks, AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Yeah,
You're
we are
welcome.
very lucky to have him, and I would expect that we'll see him at competitions in the future, as well as maybe you, Tammy?
Oh, of course. I'm glad I get to take a break tonight, though.
We needed you on the stand there, bringing us all the up close and personal interviews.
It's very nice to be out here and not have to worry about competing and just enjoy it.
It is. It's butterflies and nervousness. It doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it and what event. You look over your shoulder and look at your competition, Kate, and it doesn't go away until the race is over, and then it's exhilaration, win, lose, or draw. But hats off to AJ and Tammy and some of the other folks out there that develop this new talent and get them involved, and hopefully we'll keep them around for a while.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have all of this talent here, and we're talking about some of our high schoolers, and they're on the swim team and different athletics, and not only does that play into their role with beach safety, but also vice versa. Beach safety is a great opportunity. Like we said, you train every day and you do drill to be able to keep those skills up for whatever other sports or athletics you participate in.
Right. We get kids from across the board, different talents, you know, whether we get a couple of gals in cross country or a couple of boys that play football or baseball. As long as they got time for us, we've got time for them. What do you got, Tammy?
Our competitor down here, introduce yourself.
My name's Ardit Koma.
Ardit, you are in District 3, so that's Daytona Beach.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing out here tonight.
Well, we are going to win. It's a guarantee.
Oh, so he's guaranteeing that Daytona is going to win.
District 3 win. A District 3. We're going to resume greatness. Bring the trophy back to Daytona, where it belongs.
What is your event?
I'm actually not a competitor. I'm the standby for the 4x1.
But you compete all the time on a daily basis out here doing drill and stuff like that. But he's doing the 4x1?
Yes.
So that's a run. That's a 4x1 is a run. So that's what he's doing. What did you do to train for that?
We just do 80% jogs, 90% jogs, 100% sprints every drill for the past 2 weeks. And we picked our teams, and we're very confident that we're going to win it. We're going to win all the land events.
Hey, when that competition is over, we're going to come back to Ardit and see how his confidence helped him.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of that competition there, aren't we, that we talked about earlier. No
Oh,
modesty.
Yeah, there's a lot of adrenaline and excitement out here right now amongst all the competitors.
Yeah, he's bragging right now, and they all have that. I saw he had his individual district T-shirt. There's kind of a contest between the districts as well for T-shirt designs. And I think this year, District 3, one of the supervisor's children designed it and drew a real simple sketch, but he got the job done.
Well, Tammy, we'll have to get you to show us some of those T-shirts before the night's over.
Oh yeah, we got some, and we got some more T-shirts down here also, Ocean Rescue, but we got some paddlers coming in right now, Kate.
This is the final leg. This is it. This is for the.
This is for the win.
First place.
This is it.
Yep, we have the final leg coming in now. We have a paddler out front right now, we see.
He's tired.
He's tired. He keeps looking back and looking for that wave to bring him in.
He's looking for a free ride. He's tired. He just did 600 meters wide open. and he
All you want is that
about
wave.
he is about done. Okay, the board handler clears the board. Let us know what district is he from.
Here it comes.
That's New Smyrna.
New Smyrna.
New Smyrna with Kyle Kari, Kai Marsh, Destin Charlo, and
We
Wayne
got
Sherman.
New Smyrna here. We're going to have him introduce himself. Come on, guys. This is New Smyrna team right here, paddle team. Introduce yourself.
I'm Wayne Sherman.
I'm Destin Charlo.
Kyle Kerrig, Kai Marsh.
Okay, guys, how did you train for this paddle?
Trained at the station over in New Smyrna for a few days.
For a few days.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This is natural talent down here. These guys are probably just surfers, and they go out and train every day on all the time. So good job, guys.
Thank you.
That's a good-looking quartet right there. Kai Carey, Kai Marsh, Destin Charlo, and Wayne Sherman out of New Smyrna. Now, they do surf quite a bit down there in New Smyrna. It's known for that worldwide, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Even when I was down there, we were pretty much undefeated when it came to the paddle board race.
And Jack, I believe that was the team that we spoke with, the first competitor who caught that really great wave on the way in, wasn't it? That really sealed the fate for him.
It did. Once you get that advantage and the second, third, and fourth guys are out there ahead, and it breaks the spirit of the competitors that are behind you for one, and then you can relax and get a little bit more technical and a little bit more strategic when you got such a lead. Your game can be played a little bit different, just like a pitcher in a baseball game. You can play your game a little bit safer. You can put your anchor in a different position, or have somebody rest a little bit and get an idea. But looks like second and third's a little tighter. A wave may decide this.
Looks like they're coming in. They're going to be. That's tight. After paddling on your knees and trying to run through those checkered flags, it's extremely grueling.
He didn't show it though, did he? He just powered through.
That's that adrenaline, Kate.
Oh, that's Jesse Dyer. He is sergeant. He is district supervisor here in Daytona Beach. He was on my champion team as a young lad in New Smyrna for years, and now he's working up here in Daytona. Good job, Jesse.
Another thing about Jesse is he's been nominated for Officer of the Year many, many years in a row. So he does a great job all around.
Awesome work, Jesse. And that's just another example of our law enforcement officers out here mixing it up with the 16 and 17-year-old lifeguards. So he carried on. He was actually a sponsored surfer in New Smyrna for years. I don't know if he was professional, but I think he was in a lot of contests down in New Smyrna. He was quite a standout surfer.
Well, and all I keep hearing you say is talking about all of these amazing competitors. So, Tammy, it sounds like you might have another one of our competitors down there.
Yeah, we have another competitor, Roosevelt. We call him Rosie, though. Rosie, what are you doing out here tonight? What event?
I'm doing that 4x1. My squad and I think we got good chances to win this thing, I'm hoping.
Okay. You're competing for Daytona? Or for Ormond?
He's competing for Ormond District 2. Y'all already know what
Okay, I just talked to a Daytona competitor. Just talked to a competitor from Daytona, and he was positive that they were going to win this.
Oh, they have a really good squad, I won't lie. But, I think we got some aces up the sleeve that they ain't ready for. I'm just going to say that.
All right, good luck, Rosie.
All right, thank you.
Rosie's been with us about 6 years, Kate. He's also a school teacher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's got the perfect job. Works in the fall and the spring and the winter over in the classroom, and recruits a little bit for us too. And then he comes to work for us.
And two professions where you're giving back.
Oh yeah. Very generous guy. Character in himself. I mean, he's one of our better guards, more reliable. Go ahead, Tammy. You got somebody else for us?
No, I don't have anybody, but I have some interesting news. We're tied right now. We got District 2, 3, and 4 are all tied right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. So now it's going to get down to these last events and everyone pulling through.
That's great. This next event's going to be real quick too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, this one's going to be quick. We're going to go up here and get out of the water for a little bit and watch this run. This is going to be a lot of fun.
So is Chief Etheridge going to take off his shirt and get in on it since it's a tight race now?
We asked Chief Etheridge if he was going to run the 4x100, and he said he didn't have time.
He's a ringer.
I didn't want to pull a hammy.
Put him on the spot.
Four-way tie. We had a four-way tie one year, and it was remarkable to see how everything shook out. I think this 4x100 is going to pull things away for one of these teams, so we're going to see where it goes.
So let's see this next event. This is going to be really interesting.
Right. As soon as we get these paddle boards cleaned up out of the surf, they'll gather up their 4 members of the 4x100 in each district, boys and girls. The girls will go first, and it's up and back. It's 100 yards, but it's 50 yards down, left shoulder turn around a buoy, actually a traffic marker, and then back for the exchange, carrying the buoy. That's where the accidents happen. The exchange of the buoy. If you drop your buoy in a 4x100, it's like dropping a baton in a 4x100 run relay on a track.
So really, again, we're talking about the importance of how this relates to our actual jobs that we see our lifeguards do here and our law enforcement officers and our watermen and women. So not just running, but running with that buoy.
Right. And I'll tell you what, everybody emphasizes the swimming talent, but because of the distance and the size of our beach, usually running is a longer distance than the swim. You shouldn't have to swim a whole long way unless it's an exceptional rescue. But that run, that fast sprint is much better. Go ahead, Tammy. What do you got?
I have nothing right now. We're just lining up. I'm going to try to, talk to some of the girls after this race. I'm going to try to get the winners and talk to them. So I just want to, give them a heads up, and they're about to start.
And this will go fast, right?
Yeah,
Tammy?
this goes really fast. This is no room for error on this one.
Yeah, the whole thing takes about 2 minutes at most in each one of the races, and just to clear them out. But like I said, there could be disqualifications. There could be if they cut the actual traffic marker, or they slip and fall. There's a lot of mishaps. They can. Sometimes the beach has an uneven surface. There could be some unseen potholes. There could be where a child has dug a sandcastle and the sand may be a little bit softer in one particular spot than the other. So things do happen. Injuries do occur. They do on the job as well, and they do in competition.
And we can see the onlookers lining up and down the course and getting ready for that event to begin. There's a lot of energy in the air.
Yeah, there you go. And I can tell you right now, some of the girls are really quick. Ava Hanner's here on the left with that bright yellow top. She's a double degree. She got her degree at FSU. She just finished her emergency management degree at UCF, and she'll be representing Dunlawton right now. Emma Pincharo is over in lane 1. She's furthest on the right with a black 2-piece on. And you'll see they all have their buoys duct taped so that rope isn't going to trip them up. They kind of keep it up high so they don't get it hung up around their foot. So here, they're in the hands of the starter. Watch this. This is going to be exciting.
And what a great view. This drone is just fantastic.
I'm
How's
not
it
even
looking, Tammy?
I'm not even competing, and I'm nervous.
Here you go. You can hear the crowd. Got District 3 making the turn, second place.
Oh, they're
Emma
fast.
just gave up the lid. It's going to be
Looks
quick.
like
It's New Smyrna and Ormond going at it. New Smyrna and Ormond going at it right now with Daytona in 3rd. Looks like Dunlawton in 4th. Look at these girls fly. No mishaps yet. Let's watch the exchange, Tammy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's a drop, just as I called it.
Oh.
There's a drop. It makes all the difference. Now we got tight again.
That's what I said. There's no room for error on this one. They're still
You got
they
New
still may push
Smyrna,
through.
Daytona, and Ormond all tight. Another clean exchange. There they go.
This is our last leg.
This is it. That could be Daytona that just took the lead in lane 1.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
How's it looking down there, Tammy?
Oh, it's so exciting. This is so exciting. That error, I told you, Kay, there's no room for error on this one. I've done this event many times. You cannot drop that baton or buoy, whatever you're running with. You just can't drop it in the exchange. You got to be very careful. You got to practice that. That takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, Tammy, that looked like Team Daytona, the girls division, took that on that mishap. They caught up a little bit there. after Emma Pintaro started it out and kept it close, and now the girls have put Daytona in the lead.
Yeah, we're going to try to get those girls together and talk to them here in just a few minutes.
Give them a minute or two to catch their breath.
Yeah.
Okay, let's line up the boys. Hopefully nobody got hurt there. Nobody got their feelings hurt. And we'll be seeing the men's 4x100. So we had some bragging going on between Daytona and Ormond there. Rosie didn't say a whole lot, but boy, Daytona was talking like they were going to bag this one. It'll be featuring Derek Taylor. He's one of our acting supervisors right now. He went to school at Fairmont College. He played football up there. So and he trains. Go ahead, Tammy. You got somebody down there for us?
Yeah,
from the
I got
girls?
some spectators, actually. We want to talk to them and see how they feel about this competition. Can you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Yvette Dillman.
Yvette, and are you a parent of one of the competitors?
I'm a parent of two of the competitors. I have Isabella competing for Ormond, and I have Wesley competing for Daytona, both lifeguards.
Okay, how does this make you feel? Because I know as a mother and watching my son compete, I get more nervous. I get more nervous than when I'm actually competing when I'm watching. Yeah, so.
You want them to do the best.
Yeah.
And so my daughter did really good on her relay. They come in second, so I'm very proud of them.
Oh, that's great. I bet you are very proud, and I know your kids are great kids, so we're glad to have them down here, and thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you for loving our lifeguards. We love Daytona lifeguards, and my son's about to run now the relay.
Okay, we're going to watch this next event here.
Oh, that's exciting. It's always great to have the parents. I know in New Smyrna we had a huge following of parents. You know, they've always pushed them in swimming and attending their swim meets, and they carry on the tradition by coming down and participating in our lifeguard competitions.
Well, and we need the competitors, but the event wouldn't be the same without all the spectators cheering them on either.
No, and that's the whole key with this coverage. Hopefully we can generate some excitement and try and get more community involvement, even with some of the restaurants and hotels here nearby joining in some of the spectating.
And Tammy, it looks like we're getting ready for the start.
Oh yeah, they're getting ready, and again, I'm not competing, but the adrenaline is flowing. So it's always like that, watching your own competitors, especially when you go to different competitions like regionals and nationals.
And they're off. They draw for lanes. There's not an assigned lane, so let's see how they're going to do in that first turn. Nice and clean, lane 2, followed by lane 1. I think that's Daytona.
That's Ormond in the lead.
Ormond is in the lead. That was a tight turn, though.
This is a close race.
Oh yeah. And here's Rosie Cochran. Let's see if he can catch up. There he is, kids. Any of Rosie's students? There he is. Clean exchange again.
Looks like we got Dillman there with Daytona. Dillman with Daytona in the lead.
Ormond and Daytona.
And we have his mom right next to us. Oh, Daytona.
That is an upset.
Yes.
That is an upset.
Daytona said they were going to take it, so.
They've been training, I have to admit, and Daytona hasn't won. There's been a dry spell with that district lately. They've been purged of some of their talent due to injuries and due to drafting into different districts and promotions and such. So that's good to see them take both run relays. That's huge.
That may have broken up our tie in the scoring a little bit, Tammy,
yeah, we're gonna try to get an update on the scoring here in just a little bit.
That would have been Derek Taylor leading the young kids, Andrew Peterson, who's a recruit this year, Jordan Druin, and Wesley Dillman, who's heading to the Navy here in a couple of weeks.
Okay, Jack, we have Wesley Dillman here right now. He was the anchor that won this 4x. So what do you have to say?
It was all my teammates. We've been training hard, pushing each other, just being nice guys and bad dudes.
Thank you.
That's a proud mama too.
Yeah, he's proud mama, and he's super excited. And he comes down here, trains every morning before work, and then trains at drill as well. So that just shows you you just need that little bit of extra training to get you over the top.
Put the extra work in, and we got to mention right now, Tammy's son was a huge competitor down here. and he competed in the Medley Relay and was pretty much undefeated as a middle distance runner for years. How's he doing, Tam?
He's doing great. I make him run with me now as a Christmas gift and a birthday gift. He has to run with me. So.
Hey, keep him in shape.
Yeah.
Keep him in shape. Okay, what do we got going now?
So
We're gonna
what's our
assemble
next event?
Medley Relay.
Yep.
So
Oh.
Tammy, what's a medley relay look like?
Oh, that's a very interesting relay. Like Chief Etheridge said earlier, that is something that is all disciplines combined. So you have your swimming, your paddling, your running, and you also have a rescue. Someone actually goes out and picks up a victim and brings them in, and that's very, very interesting to watch that.
And we'll see who stacked their event, who stacked their team in the medley, or did they put all their talent in the swim and the paddle relays. It's always a card game depending on who's going to stack what strategically, depending on how they're going to look as far as the points go when they get to this point. You never know. I know Dave Kerrig is swimming for Daytona. He's the oldest competitor, 30-year veteran of the Coast Guard. He'll be leading off for Daytona. And let me tell you something, at Masters Swimming in the morning at the YMCA, nobody can touch him. So we'll see, but he's always got a young buck that comes out of the water ahead of him, and he's challenged this year again. He was worrying who's going to come out. He said the kid from New Smyrna is going to get him. Who do you got, Tammy? You got the teams assembled?
They're getting there. They're working on it. I think everyone's trying to get their stuff together here. So we're going to try to find some more people to talk to, maybe some future lifeguards.
They got to arrange, now they got to get paddle boards, they got to get buoys, they got to get fins, they got to get their victims. So there's a whole myriad of assembly going on right here. Also in the run portion of it, first we'll start with the swim, Kate. The swim will be around, the swim route will go around the shorter buoys this time for time purposes, and they'll hand off to a paddler. The paddler will paddle his course. He'll come in, he'll hand tag, skin to skin, the runner. The runner will run south a quarter of a mile around a lifeguard tower, then he'll run back a quarter mile. He'll tag,
Will your son talk to me
skin
on
to
camera?
skin,
Will your
the
son
rescuer.
talk to me on camera?
Now the victims are already out in the water. All 4 district victims are out there. Usually it's a real light female that can kick really good.
There's some strategy involved in this.
There sure is, because she's got to be strong, because once she's kicked that distance coming in, being towed on the buoy, you think, well, she got a free ride, but now her legs are like jelly, and they've got to run through the surf. She cannot fall, and she cannot drop the buoy.
So it sounds like there's a lot of moving parts to this, and really employs all of those different skill sets that are beach safety people need to be able to do their jobs effectively and efficiently and keep our beachgoers safe.
Correct. It's not only work-related talent, but then you start indoctrinating these kids into some of the upper-level competitions on the regional level in Sarasota and the national level in Padre Island in August is the Ironman. And the Ironman uses all of these talents. The Taplin Relay uses all these talents and more, including the surf ski, the rowboat, the dory boat, and the paddleboard. So once they start practicing on all these talents, then they'll be ready. Tammy, who do you got for us?
We have a future lifeguard, and we'll see if he's going to talk to us or not. Do you want to be a lifeguard? Do you want to be a lifeguard? Say it.
Lifeguard.
What's your name?
Weston.
Weston, future lifeguard. This is Captain Warner's son, one of 3 children she has. She is also a fierce competitor herself, and she's fun, and she competes in all the regional and national competitions as well.
Laura Warner, she's a captain out of Daytona, stationed out of Daytona. She started as a junior lifeguard. She worked for us part-time. She went away to school at University of Florida, got her degree, didn't like the profession. She was assigned to a job inside in Atlanta, blew it off, came back. She's been working for us ever since, and it's really made a big difference in our department.
Well, we're lucky to have her. We hear a lot of stories about team members who work with the division in high school maybe, and then go off and get a degree and explore a career and decide that their heart is really at the beach and return to us, don't we?
Yep, we have a lot of them like that, and also dual employed firefighters. Tammy, who do you got now?
We got some more of Captain Warner's children that wanted to be on camera, so they're all going to be future lifeguards as well, right?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Wyatt.
What's your name?
Willow.
That's Willow.
Do you want to be a lifeguard?
Yes.
Do you want to do junior lifeguard?
Yes.
And that's another great program. I think you've already talked about that, Jack, and or maybe not yet, but that's
yeah,
another
Willow's
great
going to be a junior lifeguard next year. She'll be old enough, and I got to remind you folks out there, if you're looking for a camp for your kids, I don't think this year they've got any openings left. They still have a couple of more one-week sessions. I'm not sure if there's any opening, but I'll tell you what, you need to get on board and get these kids in one of these junior lifeguard sessions next summer if you have an opportunity. It's huge.
I was telling you earlier, I grew up here, and I am not a beach safety professional these days, but I did junior lifeguard as a child, and it was a great opportunity to get out and learn about the beach and the safety and what our great beach safety team does every day. And it's fun. You get to be in the sun and the surf and the sand. What else would a kid want?
Oh, it's great. It's great, and we get huge participation. I wish we could even grow it larger. LA County has thousands in their lifeguard program, a junior lifeguard program, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot of staffing. It takes a lot of preparation, and to supervise kids in an unstable environment like the beach, you know, you have to keep a close eye on them. And there's all age groups. I think it's from 9 or 10 years old all the way up to 15. And then once they reach 16, they're at a level where we can hire them if they want to come on full time.
And that's a great opportunity to kind of learn and develop your skill set if you think you maybe want to explore being a part-time lifeguard as a high schooler.
Oh yeah, if they've been a junior lifeguard before they come into our recruit class to work for us on a tower by themselves, it's huge. They already know pretty much half of our standard procedures book. So Tammy, what do you got for us down there? You getting ready to start the medley?
Oh yeah, we're getting ready, but we do have Officer Merwin down here. He's actually ahead of the junior lifeguard program. He's the coordinator, and he works under me, and we wouldn't have the successful program we have without him. And we'll ask him a little bit about how do you prepare for the junior lifeguard summer?
Hey Tammy, well, hey, we got the full support of command staff, so that always helps. But we start in January. We hire the instructor group from our lifeguard corps and pick only the best, you know, the guards that have been around for 5-6 years, and put the team together by March, and then acquire our boards, all of our equipment, get our trailer together, and we're ready to go by May.
Yeah, like he says, this is something that starts all the way in January to get ready for the summer, and we have many children, up to 500 children that go through our program, maybe even more this year.
Yeah, close to that. We're running about 115 every week. We have 7 one-week camps. Some of them are repeats, though. So, yeah, somewhere between 500 and 600 kids.
That's a lot of kids, and those are future lifeguards that we're trying to train to come out here and be lifesavers one day.
Thanks, Tammy. Yeah, John's done a huge job. He was another one. He and his son worked for us previously. John went off and got a professional career, and he's come back. And just this last, the year before last, he was instrumental in getting the junior lifeguard program even roll into a higher level. We got a brand new truck that we take to public relations and junior recruitment with a trailer. They got tons of equipment, boards. They've got buoys, they got swimsuits, uniforms, sunscreen. I mean, they have a great time, and John really has assembled a huge talent of instructors this year. Almost all of them have been here 5 or 6 years. A lot of college students, a lot of college grads, and they're really showing their muster this summer with the program they put on.
It is. It's a great opportunity, and for anyone who wants to learn more, great ways to find out more information about our junior lifeguard program, about our lifeguard programs, about everything we do is volusia.org/beach, or we're very active on social media on our Facebook, Twitter, and in Instagram, and we also are on YouTube. So plug into any of those channels and stay in touch with us, know what's going on. Also great, I'm gonna pause here. We look like we've just started the event.
Started the swim. You'll see the slow guy. That's Dave Kerrig, U.S. Coast Guard, 30-year veteran, was commander, head chief in charge down at Ponce Inlet Coast Guard Station was his last assignment. He is fast, but he was worried about some of these younger talents. But let's see what the surf does with these swimmers. There's no lines on the bottom of the pool here.
Well, and this is a decently long swim, right? There's some endurance in this. You got to pace yourself.
Yeah, well, you can call it pacing yourself, but if somebody's in front of them, they're swimming as hard as they possibly can, and it's going to be close.
It already looks like it's close. He's already closed up that little bit of a gap that we saw in the beginning.
Yeah, and again, if you're lagging behind a little bit, if you get the advantage of a wave to catch up or to separate you from the rest of the crowd, it's going to be huge to get that second leg going while everybody else is still in the water.
And so let's talk about the different equipment. So for this portion of the event, our swimmers are wearing caps if they so choose and goggles, but no fins or anything like that.
No, this is straight swim. Now they're trying to find out if they can actually stand on this sandbar. I saw one of them stop real quick and stick his foot down. And I don't think it's shallow enough to get a nice porpoise dive off that sandbar. I just saw him again. If you stop swimming, it takes about 8 strokes to get that speed back up to plane. So if you're going to try and cheat and find the bottom and porpoise dive through some shallow water and it's not there, you're losing yourself some distance to your competitors. But this is close, and they've got to go around the buoys. And one of them did, a tall one did risk it this time. He took a breather. He sized up where his buoy is so he can make a correction if he's off a little bit, and then jump and push off and maybe porpoise dive under a wave and catch back up.
You're right, Jack. I like that you touched on the difference between pool swimming and ocean swimming. It's a lot different, and the competitors are different as well. You really need to know the ocean and the surf and the current, and be able to ride those waves. Catching one of those waves in is really important.
Right. You'll see them take a peek. They'll bob their head up, especially the second place guy. He's taking a bigger peek, and Dave Kerrig also is right next to him on his shoulder in third place, representing Daytona. Actually, now Dave's got some open water, and this is where he shows his strength. Obviously, the kid in the blue cap, I don't know what district he's from, he's definitely the speedster. I do believe that is the kid Liam Barrett from New Smyrna. If I had my guess, he's probably the fastest pool swimmer we got right now. So he's probably the one opening up the lead. Now they all got to get around that buoy cleanly.
And that's another rough thing to do sometimes when you want to try to get as close to the buoy as you can. You don't want to hit it, but you want to save that time also.
Right. So we could see on the drone, Dave Kerrig just ran into it. He nosed out the second place competitor and got around him, but both looked like Liam Barrett in the lead. I could be wrong. And Dave Kerrig got hung up on that crab ball, the crab trap buoy that anchors the large buoy. They tried to go between the two, and there's a tether that connects them, and it hangs up your stroke cadence. So it kind of got him a little disorientated for a minute. So now we'll see what advantage a wave gives to one of them. If the leader gets the wave and stretches the lead, it's going to give him a great big advantage when he tosses off to the paddler.
Yeah. Okay. I need the winners of the 4x.
But it also looks like if the second and third place swimmers get
grab
that
a
wave,
winner.
it might just instantly catch them back up and really even out this race again.
Right, Kate. Kate, if they wait if they can look over their shoulder and see something big coming behind them, it'll be huge. However, the leader got into the white water on the sandbar and got a little bit of a float ahead of him, so he did stretch the lead a little bit. But now, while he's in that second slough coming towards shore, he may get caught. Tammy, who do you got?
We got the winners of the 4x Daytona. How do you feel about your win?
Pretty good. Fantastic. Exhilarated. It's exciting.
Okay, so how did you girls train for this run?
Lots of handoffs and starting your blocks for sure.
Okay, did you train every day?
Of course.
For how long?
40
minutes every day.
40 minutes.
Okay, and these group of girls are another group of girls that come in before work. They come in hours before work. They train every day, twice a day. They train before work, at drill, and on their lunch break, most of them. So great job, girls.
Thank you.
That's Emma Pintaro on the right. She's one of our station personnel. She's been here about 6 years. Her brothers and her sister work for us. Grace Schuerman, Becca McBride, who's a rookie this year, and then Medley Relay, it's a hard last name to pronounce, her little sister was also on that 4x100 relay this year. So good for you all.
We see a lot of family, a lot of siblings, or we hear about parents and children. I think this is really something that gets passed down and through family, and it's really a prestigious thing to be able to do together, isn't it?
Lots of family. When I was in New Smyrna, one summer I had 5 sets of siblings, brothers and sisters, brothers and brothers, or sisters and sisters, all there at the same time. So you double down on getting there on time. You know, if one's going to get there, they share a ride, then you know you're going to get 2 for 1.
And it looks like we've got our first paddleboarder in the water, Tammy?
Yeah, it looks like they're started on the paddle already.
Was that Orman in the lead, or was that New Smyrna? Could you tell?
I could not tell.
Because I'm trying to determine who that paddler is by the logo on his swimsuit.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
He looks like he's moving, though.
Yeah, so what happened here, Kate, is they probably sandbagged their paddle team and left their star paddler, their best paddler, for the medley just in the event they needed the points. They saved their talent. A lot of them use that tactic.
So we'll start to see that, won't we, as we get these competitors in for these different categories or different portions of this competition. We'll get to see who maybe has held back their really strong players.
Right. I do know, in talking to Orman and looking at their roster, they stacked their medley. So if they were close or if they weren't in the lead yet, this may bode well for them. I know that their medley relay was combined. Lucy Noble was their swimmer. She's a brand new swimmer out of Hydro 4 swim team in Ormond. She's out of Flagler Palm Coast. Clayton DeBrule, whose father and uncle work for us, Clayton and his sister works for us, Josie. He's a star paddler even on the national level. And then Seth Augustinowski, whose father also worked for us, he's going to be the distance runner. So, and then it'll be anchored by Troy Knopp, who's full-time. That is Clayton DeBrule. Clayton DeBrule out of Ormond. And you can see him kicking, which doesn't do any good.
Look at his feet going.
It helps balancing the cadence of his arms, but he is one of those 24-hour-a-day trainers. He does triathlons as well. His dad was a big-time competitor. His uncle Matthew, who competes still in Honolulu, is a talent as well. We anticipated this lead. Lucy was a new competitor this year, but we knew with the talent that she had, if he kept them close, that these guys would probably take care of the rest. Yeah. So next, like I mentioned, if Mr. DeBrule continues the lead, he'll have Seth Augustinowski to give off to. Now, Seth just graduated from Father Lopez, and he's going to go on to Florida Southern with a scholarship. And he was a star athlete at Father Lopez this year. Transferred from Seabreeze, which was a good get for Lopez this year. He's going to be their runner.
So after our paddlers come in, we'll have the running.
Right. They're going to run south a quarter of a mile. It's a half-mile run. They're going to run south. It'll take them a little less than 3 minutes to do it. And he'll be handing off to the medley swimmer, the rescuer, who will use a buoy and swim fins to go get his victim.
Well, and as you said, a lot of people think of so much of lifeguarding as swimming, but there's a lot of running involved too. So that's where we get to see that skill set really come into play.
Oh yeah, we always encourage our big wave. Let's see if he's going to get it. No, it dropped back off the shoulder of it. But sure, just because you're not a fast pool swimmer, a racing swimmer, as long as you can perfect
it looks like he's got that
Oh,
one.
that's a beautiful wave. This could be over.
Job.
This could be over for if he keeps his board all the way to shore, it could be over for the other teams as far as first place in the medley goes. This was huge. It doubled up. He caught the inside break too. That's a pro right there. He's a law enforcement officer as well. Comes from a great family. His dad's a firefighter, paramedic with Port Orange, and he is totally dedicated to his crafts, and he just made a huge difference. Let's see if he gets even a third wave on the shore break.
Well, and that dedication shows when you watch a performance like this.
Yeah, his form is perfect. He stayed up on his knees. The chop didn't bother him a bit. He didn't go down to a prone position on the wake.
That was a great paddle. Great paddle.
Great paddle. No holes. He didn't find any holes that would hurt his ankle. And he's going to tack off. There he goes. There's Seth Augustinowski. Huge runner. Went to districts. Went to state with Father Lopez this year. Senior going to Florida Southern University this fall. He'll be going down into the distance. You'll see a quarter mile down the way at water's edge. There'll be a red lifeguard tower with a flag on it. He'll be doing a left shoulder turn around that and return and be tagging off.
And he looks like he's making quick time of this.
He is probably the fastest distance runner we have, and that insurmountable lead. Go ahead, Tammy. Who do you got?
Hi, we got Clayton DeBrule here, that paddler you just saw come in and catch all those waves, and that was such a great paddle. Clayton, tell us how you train.
A lot. I train with Captain AJ Miller like probably every other day. I swim Masters in Ormond and Port Orange like anywhere from 3 to 4 times a day.
This is another great athlete we have here. He does compete on the national level, and also, like you said before, he came up through as a junior lifeguard as well. So that's always great to hear that our program is successful. Great job, Clayton. You guys did awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, good job, Clayton. As a matter of fact, all 3 of the men on that team were junior lifeguards. Troy Knopp, Mr. DeBrule, and Seth Augustinowski. They were all bred into this job at a very young age, and it shows now. They know how to win.
And it looks like we're seeing our first runner come. He's already made the turn and is returning back.
Yes, so the rescuer on this event is going to be able to take his time. He won't have to worry about any mistakes.
There goes
That's Daytona in second place.
Yes.
Daytona in second place. That's going to be, I think Patrick Wilkie is running this leg. He's pretty swift, and right now this is for second place. This isn't for the win, unless something tragic occurs with Troy Knopp on the rescue and the Ormond team. Then he's going to have smooth sailing. He's going to use technique. He's going to enter the water nice and easy, nice and smooth, so he doesn't roll an ankle. His victim's going to be able to relax on the way in, so
there he goes.
She won't have weak legs.
So, Jack, are all of these events equal in scoring and points? So is one.
Yes.
So even if a team doesn't come in first here, if they've been strong in other competitions tonight, they may still have a chance, or vice versa. This team may really be able to get some extra points by coming in first.
Right. They're only gaining 2 points anyway if they were tied, let's say. So that's what keeps it close. It gives the advantage to them in this event only. And I do believe this is Troy Knopp as the rescuer. Now you'll see him stall for a minute, and they're putting on fins. That's all they're doing. It's time saving to wait until you get into the water to put your fins on, because you can't run with duck feet, for one. Then you lose a little bit of time as you're assembling your fins, but now with the kick you can really make up all that lost time.
You got to walk backwards with those fins on land, right? The little backward shuffle.
You do, but then what happens is, and we teach this in recruit class, you can't turn your back for too long on your victim because you'll lose them, and then you got to correct once you're making your approach to your victim. So as long as he was lined up and turned around 180 degrees and didn't get too far off and kept an eye, which is hard to do in this kind of surf, keeping an eye on your victim, then he should be okay. He should be okay.
And they really do make such a difference once you're in the water, being able to get to your victim that much quicker.
Oh yeah, we recommend fins. We don't furnish fins. We offer them for a discount for sale. Because our rescues are usually short distance and fast, and it's critical to get to your victim quickly, usually, unless they're at an outer lying tower, they don't have fins. I do, because that comes with age as well. But
yes, it does.
You had to throw that in, Tammy. You have fins too, don't you?
Oh yeah, I have lots of fins.
it helps in the long run, especially if you're secondary in the rescue. Okay, there's Daytona. That's Cameron Goff. Cameron Goss works for us. He's been with us for years. He went off to the University of Florida, got his degree in environmental engineering, and right now he's kind of a tweener. He's working out at Halifax Hospital in the emergency room. and he's getting into a career more directly into the medical field and keeping his job here.
And he's also another national competitor.
Right, he's been on our travel team for years. He goes all over with us. Wherever there's a competition during the summertime, we can count on Cam.
Well, as a Florida graduate, I like to hear about all of these Gator graduates you have on your team.
Oh yeah,
You
and
get
boy,
Seth too? You get
and
Seth
boy,
too?
you're not kidding. I am too, and I'm not a Gator grad, but boy, I'll tell you what, when we get the FSU competitors in here, we give them a little bit.
I won't get mad at you for that one. It's great to be a Florida Gator.
Actually, Ava Hanner just graduated from UCF, but she went away to Florida State, and every time we raced in the ocean, she always have her FSU beanie on, and I would recognize her and give her a little ankle grab to drive her backwards. But now she's a UCF Knight, so I really can't blame her. I let her go now. And here we go. What do you got, Tammy?
I got a couple of our runners here. We want to introduce them. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Seth Gusnowski, and I run for Ormond.
My name is Patrick Wilkie, and I run for Daytona.
How do you fellows train for this?
A bunch of runs just back to back. You know, we got to keep the consistency going. You know, I love the camaraderie around this district. You know, we're all feeling good about it, and then we perform well too.
Okay, do you guys run in school?
Yes, I did cross country in high school 4 years.
How about you, Seth?
So I just graduated from Lopez, and I'll be running at Florida Southern for the next 4 years.
That's a great shot of the victim too.
Great, and Seth's father worked for us for many years as well. Thank you, guys.
Of course.
Yeah, his dad came up to the ranks with me. Bobby August Danowski retired a few years ago, and now Seth is going to take his talents to Florida Southern, I understand. He's one of our junior lifeguard instructors this year. We lost some talent to John Merwin and the juniors here the first part of the summer because he took some great personnel from us. That's a great drone shot. You can see the victim kicking, and I mean she's kicking because she's trying to keep the torque off of his shoulder. And a lot of times these guys, these rescues, they'll tell us at the end of the event they never felt her. They never felt her. They kept the pull off his shoulder the whole time.
This is really a teamwork event, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. And they'll get a separation if the swell separates them. The swimmer gets the swell, but she gets backed off the backside. It's like pulling somebody over the peak of a mountain, and you get a road rash or rope burn on your shoulder. So a lot of times the rescuer, he'll grab the rope, sort of like grabbing a baton in a run relay, just to take some of the torque off of his shoulder.
Well, and then when we take this to the real world, I mean, you'd be very lucky to have a victim kicking that hard. So thinking about what these members do to be able to pull people into shore and save them oftentimes when they're not able to really put in that effort.
Right. You may ask for an extra kick when you're doing a rescue, but that doesn't normally happen. That doesn't normally happen.
Rescue team.
Here they come. They know they have a lead, so they're
Those
running
legs are
very
hurting right now.
gingerly. And there's Troy Knopp. He is now law enforcement. He started with me at 16, was a junior lifeguard in New Smyrna before that. Great kid. He swam at Daytona State. At our peak performance about 6 years ago in New Smyrna, I had 9 collegiate swimmers on my competition team.
Wow.
And 5 of them were from Daytona State. Wonderful program. I wish they would start it back up again. Hint, hint.
And it looks like we have our second and third place coming in now.
Yeah, this is a little closer. Let's see if nothing happens. There's no falls or mishaps or a loss of buoy during the transition from water to land. That usually tightens things up. You can see, obviously, they're both coming through a rip current. There's typically rip currents at beach approaches, and that the inward egress, the westward egress coming in off of this course is right where our beach approach from the lifeguard station dumps out. After these afternoon rainstorms, it cuts a gouge into the traffic lane, and that gouge carries off into the ocean. And you can see those guys look like they're swimming on a treadmill. You can see how choppy the water is and how the white caps are breaking off the tops of the waves as he's struggling to get through it. He is in a rip right now. That's a typical rescue situation right now. If this wasn't a race, he'd be swimming parallel to shore with that kid.
I was going to say, I know we tell people when there's a rip to swim parallel to the shore, so how challenging it must be to continue to swim forward kind of almost against your training to be able to do this when we know what the answer is and it's not necessarily this. But they made it through.
Yeah, they made it through. It took a while, but once they get the mentality of it's in a race and the closest point from A to B is a straight line, all that goes out the window. They don't want to risk swimming parallel. And you can see that beach ramp where it was situated. And again, you can see where separation from the waves actually kills the momentum of the rescuer. And that's Cameron Goss. And that is Nunez. That is, let's see, they're from Daytona. Cameron Goss and Alina Nunez were second place. That's huge again for Daytona to keep it close. They were not supposed to win this competition today.
They've definitely been in the running. I think we keep talking about them. We see them up there leading up front, not first and second a lot of this. So I'll be interested to see what the scores are at the end of this event.
Consistency is everything right now. That's the name of the game. Again, it's going to come down to beach flags. Hopefully they finish up as quick as they can.
Well, here's another team.
Yeah, that's New Smyrna. That's New Smyrna. So Dunlawton's going to be bringing up the rear this year. The Dunnies, Dunnies for life is what they call it. There's Scooter Ruberg from Sarasota shaking hands with A.J. Miller. But the Dunnies usually are a dark horse, but they're usually in the fight at the end of the night.
Well, and we're getting ready for, I think, what many people consider as the most exciting event of the night, aren't we?
Yeah, I can tell you the women's beach flags is going to be really a cat fight. They're loaded with talent in Ormond, and they're loaded with talent in Daytona. Ormond has some deep experience from all the way down to the junior lifeguards, and there's 3 of them that are really going to be tough to beat. So we'll see what happens. Now, a point I'll make once we do get the beach flags is going to need some explanation here as far as point accumulation goes. But Tammy, you got somebody for us?
Yeah, we have the Ormond rescue team that came across the finish line first. Introduce yourself.
I'm Troy Knopp.
I'm Jordan Eckert.
You guys did a great job. Troy is also one that was a lifeguard with us, left for a little while. Now he's back as a full-time law enforcement officer. And what did you guys do to train for this event?
We did a couple of practices the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, just working on making sure we both hold on to the buoy.
That's the main thing with this. You both you have to hold on to that buoy. It's really rough, really hard to do. And a lot of people think the victim doesn't do much, but that's a lot of kicking. And I know it's extremely grueling when you get out from that and try to run across that finish line, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. The kicking was a lot harder than I expected it to be.
You guys did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Jordan and Troy. Troy's the father of a new baby girl, and I went to his wedding. He met his girlfriend on the beach, and he sat in front of the Flagler lifeguard station for years for me, and he's such a talent. And pretty much, he says he's just practiced a couple times. Well, muscle memory and experience on the level that he's experienced both nationally and regionally, that got him through this, plus a huge lead.
Definitely. Well, and so now we're hearing not only career opportunities, but love stories happen on the beach sometimes.
Oh, certainly. I met my wife here too. And to back to Troy, his parents were very instrumental. They're very supportive, as well as many of the parents down in New Smyrna throughout his career. And he left us. We didn't have a full-time position about 6 or 8 years ago. So he relocated and went to work for Scooter Ruberg in Sarasota. Scooter hires all he can get from Volusia County. And he had 3 or 4 of our kids over there. Troy finally got the opportunity to come back. They were homesick for their parents, babysitters. And Troy got a full-time job and went to the Law Enforcement Academy here. And now we got him full-time at Law Enforcement Academy. He's got a house and a child and a wife in New Smyrna. So all things end well for those who wait.
We love to see those people return. And before we switch over to beach flags, you kind of glazed over it, but let's give a quick shout out to your wife, who is also part of the beach safety team, isn't she?
Sure, Liz, my wife. Yeah, go ahead.
She retired?
She retired last year as deputy chief, first deputy chief we ever had on the beach. She started swimming with Scooter Ruberg at Moline High School in Moline, Illinois, home of John Deere, and his parents were her coaches. And he relocated down here to swim for Daytona State, and she followed later on after she graduated from Illinois State. She swam 4 years there, and they both got a full-time job.
Well, we're glad to have her and you. So, like you said, another great love story.
Oh, yeah. It's been great.
So let's get on to talking about our final event of the night. I think Tammy's going to kind of fill us in. What's going on down there, Tammy?
Well, I got Chief Etheridge here. He's going to give us an update on who's in the lead.
Right now, Daytona District 3 is in the lead by 2 points. Ormond is hot on their tail, so this is going to decide it all right here at the Beach Flags.
Again, it comes down to usually the last event, so this is going to be very interesting.
So right now, Daytona in the lead with 2 points. 2-point advantage, that's it?
That's it, 2 points.
Okay, again,
close.
it's gonna come down to the Beach Flags.
So tell us about Beach Flags, Jack. Tell us what we're getting ready to watch here.
So we're gonna start with the ladies, of course. It'll start with 3 representatives from each district, Ormond, Daytona, Dunlawton, and New Smyrna. And it works like musical chairs. There'll be 12 competitors. There'll be 10 pieces of rubber hose, about 12 inches long, about 30 feet uphill in the soft sand. They lie down on their belly facing the ocean. When the starter blows his whistle, they have to jump up from a push-up position, spin around, and sprint and grab a hose. There'll be 2 left out, eliminated the first 2 rounds. We'll be down to 10 the first round. We'll be down to 8 the next round, and then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So it sounds like this one's exciting. It moves quickly. There's a lot of action to see and watch, and a lot of competition that goes with it.
Incredible. And then also, then the boys will go girls, boys, so nobody's too tired. And before we start that event, Tammy, do we want to have a moment of silence? Are we going to touch on that yet?
I'm going to do the moment of silence. Let's see if I can find Captain Miller here.
And like I said, there's Darius DeBarros. He was our national champion for Volusia County and Beach Flags. He won the national championship in 2017 in front of the band shell, in front of a huge crowd. Go to it on YouTube, people, if you want to see some excitement.
Line up on the flag.
Tammy, do you want to jump in here?
You'll be down there.
They have to come
Yes.
see me or Jeff.
I think Tammy's kind of wrangling all of our competitors and our onlookers down there and getting everyone together and ready for these final competitions with Beach Flags of the night and getting everyone organized to begin. So we're getting everyone ready, set to go.
Tammy, are you ready to roll with a tribute to Darius?
I think so. I told them we were getting ready to do that. They're getting them all lined up now, getting them ready to go, giving them the instructions. So, Jack, why don't you go ahead and do that now?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius DeBarros was a wonderful employee of ours. He was a full-time employee of ours as law enforcement. He left our department and joined Daytona Beach Shores. He was a national champion.
Captain Miller's making the announcement now.
And was unbeatable in Beach Flags and unfortunately lost his life last year. And so now we'd like to send it to A.J. Miller for a moment of silence for Darius. Okay, well said, Chief. We miss you, Darius. He was a stellar competitor, but more than that, he was a wonderful, wonderful person, and we miss him. He was a standout in beach flags, but he was more of a standout to all the people that he worked with. So we miss you, bud. Okay, we're going to get started now with the ladies in beach flags before we lose daylight. It's going to be hard to see those flags, Kate.
Yeah, we're definitely fighting the sunset here, aren't we? Getting every last moment of light we can.
Yeah, well, you know, we start about 30 minutes later now because crowd's dictating. We're having a big season this year. We moved our tower hours later to 6 o'clock, and sometimes even Memorial Day, 4th of July, 7 and later, because people still come to the beach. So we have to wait for all the teams to get assembled here. Now what they're doing is they've got to draw for lanes. So they'll put popsicle sticks in the sand, blindly in the sand, and they have to pull popsicle sticks for lane assignments because some areas of the beach are a little bit softer and a little bit more hazardous. So every round they draw sticks. So it's gonna take a second, but boy, once they get rolling, it's gonna be exciting.
And popsicle sticks play a pretty big role in tonight's events, don't they? You guys use them for a lot of different purposes.
We do, and they're cheap, so when we lose them, we can replace them really fast. But yeah, we learned that a long time ago, putting on national tournaments. You can make several sets. If you lose one, somebody throws it, and it gets washed away in the ocean or something, then we can replace it very quickly. But yeah, strategically choosing lanes is important because if you get a lane assignment right next to a teammate, you got to think about who's going to take one flag. There's no communication, there's no peeking. They already have to know in each other's eyes. They got to read the body language as to where they're going to line up and which flag.
So you're not competing for the same flag with the teammate. That makes sense.
That's right. You don't want to eliminate. There is no friends here except in their teammates, and if their teammates are working together, it can mean everything from a win to a loss.
So we're going to see the 12 female competitors go, and then we'll switch over to the 12 male competitors. Is that correct? So we'll switch back and forth?
Right, and you'll see as soon as they finish with their flags, they'll cart them off to the side, get the sticks, run the sticks back for lane selection. They'll put hoses back in the ground, -2. And you'll notice now the ladies are already down facing the opposite direction. So they can't see hose placement. They can't peek over their shoulder. They have to have their heads down once they start.
Oh, and look at this shot we're going to get. This is fantastic.
Yep, so we use a drill, a DeWalt drill. No plug for DeWalt, maybe a Makita, I don't know. But anyway, it speeds things up, and they just randomly deposit these flags. So as soon as they get up, they have no idea where they're at except near the finish line. They're all in line, but they don't know if they're going to have their choice or if they're going to have to jump out of lane to grab a flag. And you'll see what I mean here in a quick. It takes about 5 seconds once they jump up.
And I have to say this is an exciting competition, but these views we're getting, these beach views are great. Oh, looks like
fantastic. There they go. Watch this. There's a flag. There's a flag. See, look at that pile. That's how this is going to go. 2 or 3 of them focused on one particular flag. It got snatched up. Unbeknownst to them, right over their shoulder was another one unattended. That's how the strategy is going to work. If you lag back with a larger number, you know something like this is going to happen. You might not be the quickest down there, and you might have an easy pull.
So it's really not only diving for that first flag, but if you're not getting it, being hyper vigilant and looking for that second opportunity.
You got to hop up. You got to hop up and look. If you didn't come up with one that first jump, you got to jump up real quick and look to your left and right, see if there's something there. Now, what you ask is, as the men's get their lane assignments and the ladies are reassembling behind them, waiting and getting their breath, they're going to put 12 more flags back up. And for the men, now we're down to 10 ladies. They're going to be down to 8 the next round. And you ask, what does this have to do with lifeguarding? Just fitness and bragging rights, and it's fun. It's fun, and it's really big for the spectators.
There's got to be a little bit of fun in here, right?
There is. Now, there's some nastiness going on. I'm not going to kid you there for now, right, Tammy? You've seen some tussling in the past.
Oh yeah, I've done this
Two
event.
will come up with the same flag, and it's the one with the top piece.
Yeah.
Whoever hits highest to the top, there's usually a red piece of tape on the top. Can't really see it because of the light here tonight, but whoever's got the top piece gets the flag for that particular round.
And
Usually,
Jamie, can you feel the excitement down there? I can
Oh,
feel the
yeah.
excitement up here, and
Yeah,
we're on the balcony.
this is one of our most fun events that we have. This is super exciting. I've done this event. You have nothing but adrenaline going with this event, butterflies in your stomach, and it's amazing. It's, and like Jack said, that you've got to look for those flags. I've seen the whole, everyone walk away and there'll still be a flag in the
Here
sand.
they come. Okay, everybody got one that time that dove on one. There was no freestanding flags, and there's no false starts. If you flinch and jump up, it's not like they get to go again. They're out. And so that's key. You cannot flinch and jump up and take that advantage. You can't cheat and look over your shoulder. You can't interfere with one of your competitors. There's no tripping. There's a little bit of elbowing. The judges will take that into consideration, but no tripping, no pulling of shorts or tops, to try and manipulate people in their tracking of their hose.
We've got to have a clean competition here for
Try
the most
to.
part.
Try to. I mean, it gets
Yeah.
when you get down to the last 4 or 5, it gets a little tense.
It get a little more competitive, and also, another disqualifier of this is a false start.
Right.
And the anticipation of that whistle before you start is, it's just something that it's, that's why we have those false starts.
Right.
People are anticipating that whistle before it goes off.
Yep, the start and the jump and the turn is all technique and upper body strength, and it's really an art to it. Okay, we're down to 10 girls. We'll be eliminating 2 of them this time. They'll call for heads up and then heads down. You'll see a lot of them pushing sand, trying to get a little advantage by building a little sand hill to push off from. Heads were down, clean turn. There's
another flag.
another hose. Okay, we're down to 8, and you could see a couple of the girls really had a fast start on that.
It looks like Caroline Leidecker from Ormond is one of the major contenders here.
Yeah.
She's
Caroline was one that we called Caroline Leidecker. Dad, Charlie Leidecker, has been a huge booster of us on the national level as far as getting competitions here. Former executive with Brown & Brown, has a big insurance company here locally. All of his kids were in juniors. All of his kids have competed. She's at Richmond in Virginia. She's at University of Richmond right now. I don't know what field. I think it's a medical field of some type. But we called that her and Jess Andrews out of Ormond, and a rookie Lucy Noble would be also a contender. Experience helps. Allie Leidecker and Caroline Leidecker, not Allie, and Jess Andrews have deep experience in this. Jess moved from Daytona to Ormond this year, so it's really stacked their team.
So I'm just now seeing this string. Is this how we make sure that everyone's feet are not beyond the start line, as
Right.
they have to be past this? And it's a little tough to see, but you can see it moving,
Right.
judge.
Right, and then they'll pick the rope up and move it. Now they've moved it to the heads, so they're all even at the feet. Heads up, heads are down. They'll call for heads up and then heads down. And the line judge will make sure all's in sync. And they're up. That was an
This
even.
one looks close.
That was extremely close. And that looked like Baker Pinchero, closest to us, that got one. He's out of Daytona, so they're still in it. And when it comes to start eliminating teams, say your team has all 3 competitors in the last 5. They can't get first, second, and third. We don't. If your team is eliminated, if all 3 of your contenders are out, then you got 4th. Okay, you got 4 points. And then so on. So you can't stack the win and win by a bunch. If your team is still in it and first and second place, you're only getting first place. The team that was eliminated last, before the first place contenders were still in it, they'll get second place. That way nobody stretches a lead and make it not close at the end of the night.
It keeps everything even enough to still be competitive, because
Right.
that's what this all comes down to. I mean, it's skill and it's talent, but you need a little bit of competitiveness to make
yeah.
this exciting.
Oh yeah. So here we got 8. Now we're going to go down one at a time. We're racing the sunset. Beautiful sunset, by the way, folks. You're missing it if you're not here. Come see us next year. It's usually around the 4th of July week or thereafter. The girls are up. And Lidecker was quickest again. I have a feeling as long as she stays clean and doesn't get DQ'd, she's the favorite right now. She's getting out to a big start.
Yeah, it takes just one bad start, though, so that's really important.
Yep.
Those starts are really important. Even though you're fast, you got to get that start.
One trip or a bad lineup to where you're on the end with a couple of teammates next to you, they can push, and you're stuck without a place to go.
So and now this is the one exception where you could have competed in another event and in beach flags, correct?
I would say everybody in this event was in the 4x100.
Okay, so this is where we see our real speed people.
Yeah. If you're a 100-yard dash specialist, you're getting recruited for this too. Unless you were injured in the run relay, you're in this because they only need 3 out of the 4 that they had in the 4x100. So typically, yeah.
Here we go.
Now this is a national event. This is the most coveted prize at the end of the night, at the end of day 2, nationals and worlds. You know, this is done worldwide. South Africans, the Kiwis in New Zealand, the Aussies, they're exceptional at this event. They're exceptional at all the events, actually.
Down to 8 competitors now.
Yeah, we're down to 8. Now we'll be going down one at a time. It takes a little bit longer, but you try and give everybody, in the event they do get a bad start, there's only one margin of error as far as losing the hose, and they get a second chance in that next round. Okay, A.J. Miller's the line judge. He's calling for heads up, and they're gone.
That's great.
Oh, we got a hamstring pull. And he's injured and he got a leftover flag.
That's amazing.
That looked like Baker Pinsaro, and he's done. Even if he moves on, he got a hose. But,
yeah.
But he's done.
How disappointing at the end of the night.
Yeah, he's going to be in the next round, but he's hurt.
That's dedication, though. I mean, I feel like that's a great example of, even with an injury, pushing through and pulling out a victory there.
You know, and that's a great example, Tammy. We have falls on rescues. We have turned ankles. We have knees, and you rarely see them stop on a rescue. They'll come in after the rescue and collapse, and they're done for the day. But we have injuries out here. A lot. Risk management will tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, we tell them not to get hurt, but
they don't always listen.
And this is one of those events that you have to train so you do not get injured, just like the 4x100. Right. You really need to train in that so you don't get injured.
Right. When you're going on a rescue, once you come off that tower, if you did that safely and got your buoy, now if it's a long run or even if it's a 50-yard run, you've got to dodge your way through frisbees, footballs, seas of umbrellas and chairs, kids throwing toys or running along beside you, an occasional sandcastle or debris, and not trip in a hole. And then still keep an eye on your victim.
That's all? That's all you have to do?
That's it.
It's pretty simple.
So yeah, Miss Lidecker out of Ormond, still in real good shape. She had a little competition.
Oh, there was a flag. There was a flag. A leftover flag that it looks like Daytona got it.
Okay, that was a freebie for Daytona. That's important for Daytona to stay close. You know, Ormond's expected to take this. I can't tell you. I know they have 2 of their competitors still in, but I can't tell you how important it is to come away with a win for Ormond to clear Daytona as a champ this year.
Looks like we got Baker back in. See how he does with his pulled hammy.
I can tell you, Baker probably won't get a flag, and he probably won't be at work tomorrow. If I see that injury as ice and heat tonight for the next 48 hours, and but hamstrings are tough. Hopefully, he's going to be okay though. I think we've had 4 Pizarros work for us so far. He plays baseball for Seabreeze. I think he graduates this year. And he's done. He's done.
He tried.
Good job, Baker.
He gave it an effort.
Looks like Seth Augustinowski is in it for the men's beach flag. It looks like, or I'm sorry, yeah, Seth is still in it. Going off to Florida Southern this year, ran for Father Lopez.
So now we've got our females coming back up. We're down to 6 competitors.
Down to 6, so, right, there'll be one more, then they're down to 5. Then it starts to get really dicey, really dicey. And then you start eliminating actual team representation.
And you know,
it goes from a team event to almost a solo event at
Oh,
that point.
oh, yeah.
Every man or woman for themselves.
Oh yeah, because that being beach flags champ doesn't matter what district you came from. That's pretty big. That's pretty big.
and the ends, there are no place to be on this. When you get on one of those ends, it gets harder.
Right.
And it's all the luck of the draw.
It's all the luck of the draw, and those hoses are usually bracketed between the ends. So
looks like
you see Lidecker was on the second lane, but she picked an outside hose, probably so she wouldn't be competing, knowing she's going to come up quickest, knowing she wouldn't be competing with one of her teammates to her right. So she went ahead and took out her competitor in lane 1 on her left.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting strategy that you start to see evolve as we get farther and farther and less competitors.
Yeah, she's not only worried about winning, but she's also worried about elimination. She wants to eliminate other people, and trying to pick out, if she sees somebody from Daytona on her left, she's going to try and take her flag and get her out of the way. Being as close as it is with a 2-point difference right now and competing, it's only going to, it could be a minimum of 4 points, even if both your teams win in beach flags, if the next team is in second.
here we go.
There's still a flag. Now see, they got tunnel vision.
Flags.
Tunnel vision took them out that time. You get focused on one part of the course, and unbeknownst to you, there's a flag sitting up there, and it probably cost somebody a seat in the finals. Tammy, who do you got left down there? Has any of the teams been eliminated yet? Can you tell?
I can't tell. You know, they're all sandy now, Jack. So all their numbers are covered up, but we're gonna try to figure out here in the next go around.
Yeah, this is where beanies on the national and the regional level come in handy, Kate. You can actually see and reference a guide that tells you, but now sand's covered up the markings on their arms, and believe me, they're covered in sand. It's going to take a couple of drops in the ocean to get all that sand off of them when they're done. And now it's getting harder to see, not only for us, but for them. You know, they're on ground level, and when light comes into play or the loss thereof, it's going to be hard for them to focus once they do jump up and spin. We're down to 5.
And you're right, that camera shot right there is a little deceptive. It looks a lot brighter than it actually is. So trying to see those flags in the sand, which is a challenge already as it gets darker and darker.
Yeah, I bet they wish they had this lens. But yeah, we're going to be down to 4 girls here in a second. I can tell you Ormond still has at least 1 representative. And Lidecker is lane 1 furthest from you. She's the favorite. Heads her down. And nobody's. And that was an easy one for her.
All right. Everyone looks. So we got.
Looks like one of the Daytona girls was eliminated.
Yeah, Daytona girl was eliminated, and the whole men's team, Daytona men's team, has been eliminated.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's huge.
That's huge. That lead just evaporated.
Yeah, they went into this in the lead. Now they're not. So.
Yep, that lead just evaporated. So that gives them 4 points, in men's beach flags so far, and they weren't even down to 4 people yet. So yeah, they're gone. So strategy worked out, and they can only rely on, and it's not going to probably happen, is an Ormond team getting eliminated in the women's side of it, and which would even it up a little bit. But they are so deep in beach flags with the Ormond team. I don't know that that's going to happen. So we'll see what the other districts do to play in that.
Yeah, we're going to ATV down here. We're going to try to get some light down here.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a little extra illumination, Tammy.
Here they come.
We're trying.
It seemed to help a little bit. There's a fight
for a
flag. Judge, they may have a runoff.
They may have a runoff here.
They may have a runoff if they couldn't determine. It looks like Derek Taylor was the line judge on the finish, and he's gonna.
Looks like a runoff.
He's gonna. This is really fun. The heat off. It's one-on-one.
These two are gonna compete for that one flag.
Yeah, one-on-one.
To claim that spot.
Yeah, real quick. I think they're not even giving them any rest.
What districts were they?
And hats off to Tammy Malfer's husband. He's here from Daytona Beach Shores Police Department helping us. He's the one with the drill right now. It's a family affair, and he's helping us out.
It is. There's so many families and support systems out here. It's just so encouraging and happy to see everyone as the camaraderie that we get.
Oh yeah, and if I could real quick, we've got a benefit event this Saturday at the Ormond Garage on Granada from Matt Height, one of our law enforcement officers. He was found to have a brain tumor a few months ago, and he's being treated at Duke. And we're going to have a benefit with all kinds of great prizes on raffles and some good food. So come on down and see our lifeguard family and all our supporters from 1 to 4 at the Ormond Garage on Saturday for a great cause. And Matt's doing great. He's in a trial stem cell program up there, and he's been showing great progress.
It sounds like, are we getting ready to start, Tammy?
This was between Dunlawton and New Smyrna. I think we had a false start, Jack.
Oh no. Anticipation.
I tell you, that anticipation on this event, especially when it gets down to the wire, when it gets down to the last few competitors, is awful. So we eliminated a New Smyrna competitor.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, it's just how it goes. You know, in swimming in the Olympics anymore, you don't see false starts because they don't allow it anymore. They used to, but and let them get back up on the starting block, but they don't allow that anymore. They don't tolerate take up too much time, and because it's a gamble too. You know, if you gamble and you get a false start, you get another chance. Well, they don't play that anymore. So we're down to 4 gals.
And this is actually, when you get down to this level with the amount of people, you do see more false starts. The anticipation gets worse.
Right, and Caroline Leidacker is in the lane closest to us. She's the seasoned vet, all the way back from juniors, comes from lineage of great athletes. She gets a great start. She's a great runner, and she got an in flag all to herself.
It looks like we just eliminated an Ormond competitor, Jess Andrews.
Yeah, Jess Andrews, who was one of our finalists last year representing Daytona. Jess just got out, but she played a big part, Kate, in getting rid of some of the other competitors on Team Ormond to get them into the lead.
Yeah, even if you aren't a winner here, the impact you make in eliminating others down the stretch, I think, plays a big role.
Yeah, they use a little eye communication and hand communication. Once they draw lanes, they kind of nod each other as to where one of them's going to go. They don't even have to know where the flags are. They just kind of anticipate where the flags are going to go, and they kind of do nonverbal communication skills, and so they can actually not take a hose out of one of their teammates' hands. Down to 4 men. This is close.
Oh.
This is close.
We lost a Dunlawton Zone 5 competitor.
So Dunlawton is eliminated out of it now, Tammy, do you think?
I think Dunlawton is eliminated, the men's team.
Yes.
Yep, men's team is eliminated.
I'm trying to determine if Seth Augustinowski is still in it for Ormond. I know he was earlier, but I don't see him out on the course any longer.
I did not see him. But it is getting dark out here. So
I know. You know, we have light enhanced cameras up here, and this is great for the people watching it streaming. Thanks for the Volusia County's community information team for setting this all up for us. It's been wonderful. It's giving us great positive exposure for the world's most famous beach, Volusia County beaches, and all the things we have to offer. And this has been great. The weather cooperated. We had some surf. The girls are up, down to 3.
There we go.
Caroline Leidecker is
Caroline was out
right
front.
ahead.
So we just eliminated another Dunlawton
Dunlawton.
competitor.
So that means Dunlawton got a third out of this. So they got 6 points, I do believe, unless they still have a girl out on the course still. But it's Orman, strong favorite for the win.
And thank you to all those viewers who have tuned in and watched and listened to our commentary and watched all of our competitors compete. It's great to be able to extend this out to individuals who may not have been here. All the comments have been so positive and appreciative, and our competitors will be able to go back and see all of that later. So thank you so much to everyone who's been part of this event.
Yeah, folks, if you go to the beach, say thanks to the lifeguards. You know, I worked for years. We never have Christmases off. Our holidays are non-existent, so you can holiday. We have over 3,000 rescues a year, probably 300 or 400 lost kids a year, tons of first aid treatments, and these cross-trained guys just do a great job. Here we go.
So all we have in this event left is Orman and New Smyrna. It looks like
Seth
is still in it.
Still got it. Boy, his dad was good at this event too. He took no prisoners. Bobby Augustinowski was excellent. So
lost
he learned
an
a little
Orman.
bit.
We just lost an Orman competitor.
Lost one of the Orman competitors. They're
Yes.
still in it. So
we're down to the final 2.
doesn't hurt too bad. Who do you think we got? We got Orman in the final, and who else with going against Mrs. Leidecker?
Let's see what we got for the women's here. We have Caroline Leidecker and Julie Barrett. And she's out of New Smyrna. It's between New Smyrna and Orman.
So New Smyrna may have a chance here. If there's a stumble, if there's a trip, or there's some fatigue involved here, or loss of flag, New Smyrna could come away with a win here in one of the events.
I think Caroline is going to take this unless, like you said, Jack, unless she has a bad start.
She's tough. She's also a runner. She's a gifted runner. She's a gifted athlete anyway, all around. Great person. But I'll tell you what, she comes from a strong competitive lineage with her family, with Charlie and her brother as well.
Again, another one of those great families that's all been involved and has been part of the beach safety team.
Yeah, and her dad was big in getting this Hydro 4 team together out of Orman YMCA. And it's really sent us some talent. That was a good jump. Oh, it's close.
Whoa.
It was close. I'll tell you, Caroline looked like she knew she had it, but she didn't even dive. She just went to one knee, which is dangerous for injury, and she could have gotten snaked by the girl diving up underneath her, but I think she was pretty confident that she was going to get it. She had a step on her. Congratulations, Caroline Leidecker, 2021 Beach Flags female champion for the Interzone here. Good job.
And she's been dominant this whole competition from 10 competitors down to 1. She just really stood out in that.
Yeah, and in the run relay as well. You know, I'm surprised they didn't take that run relay. One bad exchange kind of blew it for them. Otherwise, they would have probably taken that too. So we got Orman as well, some more lineage like we talked about. Seth Augustinowski, Tammy, who else we got?
We got Augustinowski and Destin from New Smyrna. Destin Charlo from New Smyrna.
Okay.
And it's down to New Smyrna and Orman again.
Destin Charlo, Seth Augustinowski in the finals, and they're up.
Let's go.
Oh, this is close.
Oh, this is close. It looks like New Smyrna got him a gold.
Whoa.
Who was it? Or was it Seth? It was Seth in the dive. Boy, he pulled that out in the darkness.
Look at this celebration.
That seals the deal.
That was a tough one.
You can tell that seals the deal. They swept beach flags. They win.
That was fantastic. What an exciting end to the evening.
That was a tough one. They did great.
Kate, I don't even have to look at the chalkboard to tell you that the beach flags prevailed, the winner again. Both women's and men's were swept by Orman. That determines the winner usually, and for them to dominate like that, that tells the tale of the evening.
They really made a statement, didn't they?
They sure did. And hey, I want to reach out to all the guys with IT or community information here that helped out Daryl and the crew and the guys operating the drones, Chris Dembinski and all the guys that helped run cable and gave us a great show. This was the easy part. With the technology that you guys offer and the exposure you gave us, it's priceless. We can't thank you enough for coming over and visiting with us.
It was fantastic. Tammy,
Yes.
You have anything for us? Any last words down there?
No, this was a great energy down here. This was a great event, and I'm so glad. And thank you, Community Information, Volusia County, for letting us do this Facebook Live event. It was amazing. And also, don't forget this Saturday at the Orman Garage, our fundraiser for one of our officers that has a rare form of brain cancer, to support him. He's been having clinical trials and treatments, and he can't work at this time, so we come out and support him this Saturday at the Orman Garage.
A great event to support one of the members of the Beach family, and as a community information team member, we are so excited to be able to be here and be part of this great event. To be able to bring this out and live stream it to all of our different viewers is fantastic. To be able to experience this with our beach safety team is so wonderful, and we're just so happy to be able to share this opportunity. Thank you to all the competitors and to Beach Safety for organizing this event, and thank you to everyone who took part for the positive energy, for the positive words, and we look forward to bringing you 2022.
Oh, we look forward to it. Hopefully we'll land a national or a regional and you can come film that too. Look at that sunset and skyline in Daytona Beach. Y'all come see us at the beach. We'd love to have you.
Thank you, Jack and Kate. Great job.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy. With that, we'll sign off. We'll let you enjoy this beautiful view, and remember to always appreciate and thank our lifeguard team for all that they do, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Congratulations, Team Ormond.
Thank you, Kate. Now it starts. That's awesome. We have a banquet.